Hello, my dear enthusiasts of astrology and astrology lovers. Today we are going to look at someone who only the lazy person has not talked about yet, but let's talk about her nevertheless, and that's Meghan Markle. Who is that woman? Is she a poor victim of abusive royal family and paparazzi, or both? Or she's a manipulative narcissist who got a hold of poor prince and now holding him as a hostage? Who knows? Let's take a look. Okay, so since we're talking about Meghan in the context of her relationship with Prince Harry, let's first have a look what her chart says about how she feels about the relationship between men and women. First thing that drew my attention immediately is that both of her gender planets, let's say gender planets, okay, planets that are responsible for the relationship between men and women in the chart is Mars and Venus. Obviously, they are both in fall. Okay, what does that mean? What does that tell us? The planets in fall are also called the planets in shame. It's a place of a planet. It's a placement of a planet where the individual realizes its virtues, let's say, according to the principle of the planet, but overestimates them slightly or a lot. Overestimates them, and it leads him to the situations that can bring shame upon the person whose chart we are talking about here. So her Mars is in Cancer. This is his position of fall. And what does that tell us about the woman who has that? Well, the woman who has that is should be, maybe, probably, capricious, can be quite aggressive towards the people that she knows that cannot respond. Actually, Mars in Cancer usually goes to fight only with people individuals that he or she knows that will have the upper hand in the fight, for sure. And if that's not the case, they are not going to pick a fight, to go into the conflict, to enter the conflict with that person. No way. What are they going to do instead? They are going to do something that water signs usually do to protect themselves. Okay, they are going to talk to other people to do everything that they possibly can do to create an unbearable circumstances for the person that they are going up against. Okay, so that's a manipulative way, let's say, to deal with the situation. That's how it is. The perfect partner for Mars in Cancer, for the Cancerian Mars, is the partner for a woman with a Cancerian Mars. Is partner who is unfortunately weaker. She knows very well that she can suppress the guy, and that's the perfect partner. The problem here is that usually the idea that they have about the perfect partner in their head is completely different. They want to find someone who is this handsome, insanely attractive man who is strong and at the same time super sensitive. It's very important. Super sensitive, super romantic. But unfortunately, in real life, that happens probably. I don't know. I never met such men. Write in the comments if you have. I will be happy for you guys. It will be just interesting to know if they exist in general. But that's not every other guy. Let's just say that, and that provokes disappointment. And when this Mars that goes up against the weaker people is disappointed, that's a problem for the people that they're disappointed in, of course, not for the person who has that Mars. So it's not all bad though, okay? Nothing, but one thing that astrology taught me is that everything is dual, that there is nothing that is completely good or nothing that is completely bad. So the good thing about this Mars, the great thing, is that they are very attached to the family. The family is super important for them. If something happens to their family, they are going to kill and die whomever, do whatever to protect them till their last drop of blood. So they are going to fight for them, and that is really great, I think, and worth commending. They are very also, well, you have to be psychologic, like you have to have this intrinsic perception of other people, of course, to know if you're going up against someone weaker or someone stronger, like whether you should go ahead or hold back. Of course, you have to be psychologic for that, and for them it is very important also on how they act. What is the situation like in the family? If the situation in the family is more or less harmonious, then they go ahead and do things with enthusiasm and go strong. But if not, then for them it's very difficult to get up and start doing things. Okay, so let's move on to the Venus. This is like, okay, Martian principle is like how we, yeah, probably I should stop there, no? I mean, explain a little bit about Mars, why I'm talking about this. Like, Martian principle for a woman in a chart is that how we see another man, right? But also it is about us, how we act, how we protect ourselves, other people, doesn't matter, how we go into the conflict. In the conflict, what kind of a fighter we are a fighter, or we want to fight, or we don't want to fight, or we want to avoid the fight. And it's about our boundaries. Do we have a healthy feeling of our boundaries and boundaries of other people, or not? Are we inclined to walk all over these boundaries and not give a damn about them, or we respect them and treat it in a healthy way, which is, I respect your boundaries and you respect mine. All of these things Mars is telling us about. Now, the other planet is opposite to Mars in astrology, is describing in a female chart, describes a woman, what kind of female she is. She talks about the woman as a romantic partner. Okay, because all of the women, we have a lot of different sides, right? So this planet describes us as a romantic partner, and also, let's say, a partner for other people. How we are building our relationship, not only romantic ones, but in general relationships with other people. Because the Venus, in general, the planet, the principle is harmony, balance. Okay, the ideal relationship according to Venus is the one where partners are equal, both of them are happy or less equal, whatever, but they are getting what they want in a natural, organic way. Okay, so Venus is unfortunately in fall too. What does that tell us about the person who is the owner of this Venus? In this case, Megan. Megan, having Venus in Libra, is probably very attentive to detail, to say the least. Okay, if there is one little detail that she doesn't like, she will make sure that you are aware that she hates. She hates that blue spot on your, I don't know, t-shirt. That's ugly, terrible. She cannot look at it. She cannot stand it. Or this little thing that you do when you, I don't know, eat. This little sound that you make. It's very annoying. She will like, and I'm pretty sure that she has a lot of things like that. Unfortunately, this kind of Venus also talks about, just like Mars that I talked about disappointment in partners. And I'm afraid that in her case, it is like a double confirmation. And in her case, I think it is very often that she got disappointed in partners in past, and she is prone to it just because this is the kind of person it is. How does Venus describe the situation with the disappointment? Well, Venus in Virgo usually says this: I will give you as much as you are going to give me. And if I'm giving you something, I will make sure before giving you anything, that the thing that I will get back, the thing that I will receive from you, is going to be worth it. So when it comes to love, it is very difficult to apply this principle, okay, because with love it's kind of reverse situation. You have to give love to get love, right? And here it's like every time that this Venus in Libra is doing something for another person, it has this question ringing in the back of their mind, like, and what will I get for this, and what will you give me? Okay, so it is very difficult to harmonize, let's say, relationship and be satisfied fully emotionally if this is the way that you are approaching this. They usually, because it's a okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Usually the bearers of this kind of Venus are quite insatiable in everything beside except sex, okay, like the money, the status, the things that you do for me, the attention that you give to me, and everything that the partner does. Usually, unfortunately, it is never enough. Yeah, because they still think that, like, I'm giving you too much, or you have to give me more, like I have too much to offer to you. Still, you are not quite there yet. This kind of Venus also, don't think that they are only this attentive to details to other people or to the partner. They are killing themselves with the neurosis too, you know. They find that the things that are imperfect about themselves all the time, and also drive themselves crazy about them too, so trying to improve themselves all the time, and also looking at other people, other women maybe, their peers, that are in their mind less perfect, but happy. That creates, let's say, inner tension, if not to say envy. Okay, like, what the hell, she's like not as great as me, even she has so much to perfect herself, but still she's happy. What a bastard. Yeah, well, when it comes to romantic relationship with the opposite sex, it's more like platonic relationship, more platonic relationship based on the view of our, let's say, of their ways together. Are they going in the same direction, and do they want the same thing? It's less than, oh my god, he's so great, I love him so much, he's the best man I have ever met. Hardly, not in this case. Okay, they are very, very demanding. That is the fact. Okay, so astrologers are probably wondering, who are watching this, why I haven't started with the things that are much more important, which is sun and moon. Well, now we are moving to that. So her sun is very interesting, and in the protection, if I may say that, she doesn't need my protection, but I mean, nevertheless, in the protection of Meghan Markle, these people who think that, oh, she's doing the charity work and this educational programs and whatnot, what she has been working with the public, is just a show off. It's just to gain some, I don't know, popularity, credibility, or whatever, to get into the public eye. Well, here, you guys, that's not the fact, huh? For Meghan, the things that are going on with the society are extremely important, utterly important. I would even say, for her inner comfort, it is very important to feel, to fight even for all the good against all the bad, you know, whatever it is. I don't know, like, whatever kind of inequality, poverty, whatever. She needs to feel that her contribution is important for the society, and that is the thing that is the condition of her intrinsic, let's say, safety. She needs to feel that she has contributed to the world good, okay, for the people. She has made a difference in the society. Having said that, it does not go against her Leo sun, which, as we all know, probably, I'm pretty sure that if you're watching astrological channel, you know that Leos are very demonstrative people who love being the center of attention. Having said that, Leos, you are very generous, you are very warm, and this situation with being the center of attention comes most cases scenario naturally to you. So okay, don't get upset with me. I love you, Leos. So being a Leo sun, of course, she also uses the situation to be the center of attention, to be in the public eye, to act, to be on stage. But that doesn't take away the importance that it bears for her to help. I would not say help other people. Helping, like, I don't know, John Doe is not that case. I mean, helping the society grow, helping some group of people, that's another story. Okay, so what is super important in her case, she has a Mercury that is also supporting her sun. In that case, it is burnt. It's a term that means that astrological term that it means that it's very close to the sun. What does it mean? It means basically that the views, the way of thinking, the way of speaking of the person is usually very, not to say self-centered, but at least very subjective. But it is extremely frequent thing that people have that, because let's face it, okay, most of us, like, being objective is something unheard of. Most of the people are a little bit more, a little bit less, but we are all very subjective, okay? So what is interesting is that her Mercury is also with in conjunction with Pallas, which gives her this kind of, who knows what Pallas is. If you don't know, look it up. It's a Greek mythology. It was the favorite daughter of Zeus. It was the goddess that was the goddess of wisdom, but the kind of wisdom like wits and wisdom. You know, she was very intelligent, very let's say independent, in terms of independent from men. Okay, she was a warrior goddess. Okay, was very strong, and was the master of plots. Okay, not sure if I can use mistress. It's a different connotation in English, I guess. She was the mastermind of different plots. If you need to go around everyone and sneak everyone around, to lie to everyone and make everyone do whatever you want, she was the one who would help. Okay, and but when you needed a direct fight and direct battle, she was also the goddess to go to, especially if you're a woman. Well, anyway, I'm a little bit off track here. What does it mean that it is conjunct with her Mercury? It means exactly that she is very into the feministic issues. She thinks about it a lot. She analyzes the situation, taking this fact into consideration. She is all pro strong women, girl power, and things like this. It means that also the way that she talks, she is a very good speaker. She can. It is important for her to protect other people in the way that she thinks and she speaks. Again, we are talking large groups of people. And this is kind of, one thing is saturating the other. On the one hand, it is really important for her to talk about women and how they need to be strong and independent, and how the society needs to take them into consideration and blah blah blah. On the other hand, she really feels pumped when she's doing it, because her ego is inflating. Let's say inflating, no, but I mean it's just, it goes with her. Okay, because she loves the stage, she loves the being in the spotlight, as we all know. And there is one more thing that is important, is that she has a node right on this conjunction. And what does not right, it's a little bit, it's a couple of degrees away, but still it's close enough to tell that whatever she does, she is going to be in the spotlight. Okay, it will just so happen the events will take her out on the sun, in the sun, right? Take her out in the sun. That's just how it is. Also, like in general, what I can see in her chart is that she is the kind of speaker that will also, she has a star, she has her Mercury on the star, and if you need to manipulate the crowd, let's say, she's also a go-to person. I mean, she knows how to do all of it. I think that downgrading her to just oh, she's a manipulator, she's this, she's that, is not fair. This woman has got a lot of potential, really. At least, I mean, at least her chart does. Okay, we do not know how we are going to leave our charts. There are a lot of levels that you can leave the same chart on, but the skills, the intrinsic capabilities, she definitely has. Okay, so one little thing that I wanted to mention also was that Sun and Moon are also the father and the mother in the chart, and it is in her case, I think, very important because there's been a lot of scandalous situation around her parents or just father. Anyway, her mother, I think that the moon describes how we feel our mother, yeah, how we see her. Doesn't mean that this is the way she is. This just simply describes how we feel about her. Well, she has a moon in Libra, and also in a conjunction with the two social planets, which are Saturn and Jupiter. Probably she felt that her mother was very, on the one hand, was very strict with her. On the other hand, was very like a kind teacher, let's say, was probably encouraging her, I don't know, public activities, educational activities, was trying to give her a better education and wider outlook on life in general. So probably her mother is, but the problem of the moon and the sun is that it lacks warmth, like the deep warmth that only water signs can give, like this true empathy. But in general, it's a sign that of a good connection with the parent of a good, like, is well connected to the child. Okay, because still it's a Venerean sign. Anyway, I'm not sure you can say Venerean, but it's a sign of Venus domain, and still you pay a lot of attention on how another person feels, in this case your child. So having said that, the father honestly, she has a very strong sun. I cannot tell you one bad thing about the sun. And that makes me think that in her life she has not seen anything bad from her father. Literally. But this node that is there, it gives some kind of events that are out of control of the person. So some things happened, and I don't think that she made them happen. Just some things happened that she decided to handle the consequences, or to mitigate the consequences the way she did, and that's it. I think that their relationship between them fallen victim to the circumstances. I honestly, if somebody showed me this chart, I just would not suggest any kind of problems with the father, unless, like, well, I mean, in the relationship with the father, unless you have to go and see the prognosis, like, because the node sitting there is like a ticking bomb, you know, the mechanism of a ticking bomb, and it's just waiting the right transit to explode in your face. So maybe not, but yeah, usually yes. Okay, so well, this was all. That's it for today. This is Meghan Markle in brief. Up close, no, she's very far. But this is how I see her chart, and the characteristics that I would use to describe a person with a similar activities. You know what to do: like, subscribe, all of these things, whatever. And in the comments down below, let me know if you enjoyed this. And also, maybe there is someone else that you would like to talk about. Coming up, more.